Recording in progress.
Yes, guys, and welcome to another hopefully deep and influential training. Big welcome to, as I said, Amanda, who's now joined Unbreakable Elite as well, Angela Grice, Danny Ty, still never sure exactly how to pronounce it, Danny Dawson back in the house, and everyone else who has joined this week. Welcome to the Dream Team. So today's training, I think this will be deep. I think it will be emotional. I think it will be personal. And this, for me, what I've journaled out in this training, you know, Fridays has very much become a little bit of the brain dump training. I think if you switch on now and listen to this training deeply, if it impacts you as much as planning it has impacted me, I think it will be, in the middle a bit more, a life-changing training, because I've had these moments in it when I'm like, oh my God, this is where I've been going wrong for multiple years. So happiness comes down to our basic needs. That would be a first thing that I would write down. Your happiness comes down to your basic needs, and you control your basic needs. Now, what I've learned in planning this is that we have to understand that we are also in charge of these needs. So a humbling example is the basic needs of a child in Cambodia or Syria or a war-torn country is that they would be grateful for an extra cup of rice and some water. It would make them smile and they are happy. Okay? The basic needs of children, either in Western society or walking down the street in London, is a new iPad. And then frustration and anger at resentment if they can't have their new iPad. It's the same thing. It's a basic need to feel happy. So these children, the average earnings in some of these countries are £1 a day. £1 a day. Yet they sing, they dance, they're happy, they love, they connect, they evolve. And the crazy thing is, who's ever seen when one of the singing and dance acts from somewhere like Cambodia have gone on X Factor, and they're all dancing and they're all jigging and they've got this insane energy and this insane smile and they get the golden buzzer? That's based on their basic human need was just to sing and dance. I've just also realised that I've spilled my coffee down my top. Hey ho. No one's perfect, are they? So what makes us happy comes down to our basic needs. And I've realised in planning this how much deep spiritual work I need to do on this myself. And it comes back to what we said about our thoughts. Most of us are setting our basic needs so high that we are making it impossible on a daily, weekly, monthly or yearly basis in order for us to feel like we're good enough, which I will come on to at the end. Again, this is going to be a long training. So it comes down to our thoughts, doesn't it? It's not what you actually need to be happy. It's what you think you need to be happy. It's what society has told you what you need to be happy, and how we are programmed completely unconsciously, very often from the age of 5, to need validation. So who remembers, like, when I was 6, 7, 8, I was living in a council house, I had nothing, I didn't have anything. I was probably the scruffiest kid in school, and I had nothing because of the situation that you guys know about. So then you see the other kids, right? With the flashy football boots, and the parents with the nice cars, and the smart school uniform, and the new trainers, and the better presents than you, and the nicer house than you. and you think, that's what I need to be happy. So that's being pre-programmed into your head from the age of maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. I'm not good enough because I don't have the things that these other people have, because these other people's parents have more money than me. Drop me a yes if you've experienced that. Like, I'm not good enough because other people have more than me. So I need to have what they have in order for me to feel happy. So we're being unconsciously programmed from the age of 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's revert back to those children in Cambodia. They all have the same thing. None of them have the privileges. They don't have social media, they don't have TV, they don't have other kids showing off what their rich parents have bought them, they don't have papers, they are just happy to sing, dance, be alive, and get an extra cup of rice. That is their needs in order to be happy. And as a result, they're happy all the time. So society is programming us all the time that we can't be happy without certain things. We can't be happy without being in a relationship and being in love. We can't be happy without the car we want, the holiday we want, the house we want, the iPads, the significance, the result. We can't be happy if we didn't complete the 3 peaks. We can't be happy if we didn't complete the marathon. We can't be happy if we didn't run the 200 miles. I need to have all these things and everything to align and everything to fit the pictures of my mind which society has created in order for me to be happy. And if not, I'm going to moan, blame, complain and justify. They're not exposed to this. So step away from it and redefine your own needs. Because if you don't take charge of what you need in order to be happy, trust me, society and the media is going to keep telling you. Why? Because they want to sell you things. They want to sell you things that they are going to convince you, if you buy this car, you will be happy. If you get this house, you will be happy. If you get this holiday, you will be happy. If you get this body, you will be happy. If you get a boyfriend or girlfriend, you will be happy. And we must stop allowing ourselves to be programmed by the media and other people and reprogram yourself. I'm going to give you a perfect example this week. So, whose children has watched, I think it's called Ryan's World on the iPad? Ryan's World is an incredibly annoying Chinese kid and his Chinese parents who have in the region of, I think, 20, 30 million followers on YouTube. They will be multi-millionaires off of YouTube, and they basically review games. So Logan's clicked off of one of his games. He's clicked onto Ryan, the annoying Chinese kid, and his dad, who are reviewing the new Pac-Man game. Guess what Logan now has? The new Pac-Man game. Daddy, I want the Pac-Man game. Daddy, I want the Pac-Man game. Okay, it's 35 quid. So we've bought him the Pac-Man game. So I've now taught him subconsciously, after being led by the media, that in order for him to be happy, he needs that Pac-Man game. And yes, his little face when I told him it was in the boot, when I picked him up from from school, was amazing. So guess what's in Daddy's boot? And he went, Pac-Man. And I went, yeah. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but we also need to get out of that. You don't need that Pac-Man game to be happy. So what's the best way to reprogram yourself? What's the best way to reprogram our kids? Ask better questions. I've said this a million times. Questions are the steering wheel of the mind. Ask better questions. Don't be angry at someone for behaving a certain way. Ask them why they're behaving a certain way. So think about what's really going on with you right now. If you're experiencing any form of negative feelings or emotions, what's really going on? Why am I feeling like this? What does this really mean? 3 great questions right there. What's really going on with me right now? Why am I feeling this way? And what does this mean? Because most of us are being emotionally manipulated by other people every single day. Why? because they know how to push your buttons. But what I'm here to tell you is, you're not a fucking jukebox. What happens if you press a button on a jukebox? You get a pre-programmed results and it plays an exact song. That's what happens with most of us. We need to stop and actually consider our own opinions and thoughts. Because nobody, write this down, nobody can do anything to you emotionally without your permission. None of you can make me feel in any way, shape or form unless I give you permission to. And when you get to grips with this and you start to understand freedom of thought and freedom of your response, you choose how you respond to a situation. Someone calls you a dick, you choose how to respond. Back to the questions. What's really going on with me right now? Am I really a dick? No. Why am I feeling this way? Because I'm sensitive to other people's opinions. What does it really mean? Well, they're not important to me. So nobody can do anything to you. Nobody can make you feel a certain way without your permission. That's not easy, but you have to reprogram yourself, because you've got years and years and years of someone saying something to you, and every time you respond in the exact same way. But you are in charge. That's why it's called responsibility. Think about what that think about what that word actually means. Your ability to respond, which you are in charge of. Drop me another yes, either on YouTube, if you're watching on replay, comment #replay so I'll know you've watched it, or in the live chat now on Zoom, or wherever. Who has been in a situation where you've wanted to ask someone something, tell someone something, or someone said, will you just ask so-and-so X, and your response is, there's no point, I know what she's going to say. I'm not asking him that, I know what he's going to say. I'm not asking my boss for a pay rise, I know what he's going to say. I'm just not having that conversation with her because I know what she's going to say. Back to the jukebox. Preset responses. Someone presses your button, and because you've done it for years, you always respond in exactly the same way. Let's take the hilarity of the training that some of you won't have watched, where I did a live in the car when I was talking about anger management, and out of complete fluke, it wasn't planned. I didn't intend to make everyone laugh as much as I did, but they found it hilarious. I then pulled up behind a car and went, for fuck's sake, it's on green, you idiot! You've just stopped at a green light. Angry. Preset response. Okay? So, what's your response? Again, you can put in the chat. What's your response when someone calls you a dick or flags you when you're driving? Flag them back, have an argument. Someone says, you're a fucking dickhead when you're driving. You do exactly the same back. Preset response. Someone annoys me when I'm driving, I get angry. Someone pulls out in front of me, I give him a finger. Okay? And you have to think, James just put me and Jonas, wave at them. If your child is in the car with you when you are doing that, if your child is with you at any time when you are getting angry, what are you teaching them? What are you teaching them about emotional response? What are you teaching them about emotional control? You're teaching them that when someone gets angry, you get angry back. And when you move to a new level, imagine when you can show them compassion and empathy. This is when you become unbreakable. God, he must be having a really bad day. I hope he's okay. God, I'm so glad. Logan, I'm so glad I'm not angry like him. All I did was made a small mistake on the road. God, I'm so grateful I'm not that person. He must be in such a bad place to get so angry about something so simple. He must be struggling right now. Poor man. Anyway, so as I said, Nobody, see you later, Lindsay. Nobody can make you angry. They can't. They can't. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen all the time. It happens to me. Only you can make you angry. Just you. Your response, your responsibility, your ability to respond, your level of emotional control. But very often we're all just acting because we've not engaged our brain. We're acting off of a pre-programmed response, just like pressing the button. Someone's negative about you on social media, you're negative back. How about just showing them empathy instead? Because imagine the world if we all just react in that way. Do you know the best person in the world at this? Ant Middleton. Insane. Emotional control. Who's watched the episode when Tony Bellew gets in his face? Tony Bellew is literally ready to rip Ant Middleton's head off. He is seething. You can see it. His blood is boiling. And Ant just stands there very calmly. Doesn't react, doesn't respond, doesn't go back to him, looks him in the eye, and calmly speaks to him. That's emotional control. What's most other people's pre-programmed response? I'm quite lucky because I got to practice this a lot working on doors. I still haven't nailed it. Fight back. Imagine if I fought back every time someone that I rejected on a door told me that they were going to burn my house down, or they were going to follow me home, or they were going to shag my mum, or they were going to kill my kids, or whatever other crap men come out with when they're drunk and angry because they can't get into a club. Are you? Okay. You're still not coming in. Have a good day. You know, this is something we can learn. But this is why there's so many fights in bars and clubs. Pre-programmed response. Not, oh, hang on a minute. Let's just talk about this. Why is it you're so upset with me? No, we just fight because it's pre-programmed. And very often this comes down to your internal language with yourself as well. Who's ever said, oh my God, she makes me so mad. Oh my God, he gets me so angry. Oh my God, my missus is literally driving me around the bend. God, my husband does my head in. God, Janet at work, she makes me so angry. Oh, my boss. No. Nobody has the ability to make you feel that way. It's your emotional response that made you angry. You chose to make yourself angry based on what that person did and your preset, pre-programmed version of how you've learned to respond to that situation. Now, you chose to make yourself angry based on what they did. Doesn't mean you have to agree with what they did. I don't agree with what a lot of people do, but I'm not angry at them. So, here's a task to take away. The next time you look at someone's behavior that you don't agree with, the next time your kids are driving you round the bend, the next time your husband or wife or boss, colleague, friend is driving you mad, the behavior within them that makes you angry, that makes you respond badly, okay? Think about it, because this is how you become an emotional master. This is how you become in control of your emotional response. This is how you become unbreakable, unstoppable, and unfuckwithable. Just step back and put yourself in their shoes. One, something they're doing is within you, which is why it's triggering you. But understand that everybody does something for a reason. Whether it's the drink, the booze, the gambling, the drugs, the porn to get the payoff, the 5 biggest vices, or an emotional response. Everybody does something for a reason. Case closed. People don't just do things, they do it for a reason. Now, If you can't step back and try to understand that reason, then you have no right to judge them. Seek first to understand before trying to be understood. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like anything of it. Drop me a yes if you've been a dick when you're driving. Drop me a yes if you've got angry at someone when you're driving. Drop me a yes if you've flagged someone when you're driving. Drop me a yes if you've done one of them at someone when you're driving. We've all done it. Most of us, anyway. But we judge without thinking. And if we cannot judge others at any point in our lives, and instead, rather than judging, step back and seek first to understand, we'll realise that we've all been that person at some point. 43-year-old Lee is not the same as 23-year-old Lee. He doesn't have the same emotional tools. He doesn't understand. I was a dick when I was 23. Guess what? Now when I see someone else being 23-year-old Lee, I judge them. So I'm judging myself. I'm angry at myself. So when we can come from a place of non-judgment and try to understand, why are they being like that? I wonder what he's struggling with. I wonder why he gets so angry so quickly. I wonder why he always gets into fights. I wonder why he drinks. I wonder why he's so negative all the time. Let's seek first to understand before being understood. And then show empathy rather than trying to fix them. Trying to fix and change other people will always lead to frustration. We judge people, then we try to fix them to get them to fit in with our pictures of how we think the world should be. So again, we're back to the lighthouse and the tugboat. Just be the lighthouse. Just try and show people the way. Show empathy, show compassion, show love, show calmness, show clarity. Not try to fix them, try to understand them and then show them a different way. Because this is one of the greatest phrases that I've ever heard. If you want to change the world, first change yourself. Because if you can start to react with empathy, calmness and compassion when people do bad things to you, you are an emotional master and you will be truly happy and fulfilled. No matter how much you hate me, that could never touch my love for you. Imagine saying that to a person that's slating you off. Slating you off, slagging you off. No matter how negative or nasty you are to me, that could never touch the love and empathy that I'm going to show you. Try and fight with that. Try and argue with that. It's when people say, hasn't it, and I've gone back to this before, like, let's put the world to rights. That is the most emotionally unintelligent, immature phrase in the world, bar none, case closed. If you want to go for a walk with your friend and put the worlds to right, you are emotionally immature and emotionally not very intelligent. You have a low level of emotional intelligence. Because what you're basically saying is we are right, everybody else is wrong, so let's go and talk about how right we are, how wrong everybody else is, judge them and prove the point that we are better. Honestly, the quickest way to be unhappy is to judge other people based on your beliefs and values. It's a low level of awareness. 30-year-old Lee would just punch someone without even considering it, and did many times, which I truly regret and I'm sorry for. 43-year-old Lee would walk away calmly and hope that that person was okay and they get handled whatever's making them so angry, because I've got more important things to concentrate on. But again, I didn't have those emotional tools then, so it's not right for me to judge 30-year-old Lee. He was still learning, he was still on the journey, which is why we can't expect everyone to be where we are, because we're all at different points along the journey. Drop me a yes if you were a dick when you were in your 20s, 30s even. Drop me a yes if you've done loads of things that you regret, loads of things that you look back now and you think, God, I can't believe I did that. I could write a book on it. So we can't then see other people doing the same things that we did when we were younger, people behaving in a way we have behaved, and judge them, because once we were in that place behaving in that way. Does that make sense? So a mature emotional response comes from a higher level of consciousness and a higher level of developed awareness. We're not the same people now that we were even 6 months ago. So we can't judge everyone else because they don't have the experience, the learnings and the coachings that we have. That's how I said I managed to completely forgive my dad. Whatever was going on when he made the decisions that he did, he was doing the best that he could for him at that time based on his emotional level of intelligence and his values and his beliefs and the tools that he had available to him. Now, that doesn't mean it's okay. It's categorically not. But it's not for me to try and fix, change, judge, or be angry at, because every person is just doing their best, good or bad. They just don't have our experience, so we can't judge them. You know, we can't say, you shouldn't behave like that, it's wrong. Well, instead reframe it. Why did you behave like that? So one of the key to lives, before I go right down a right rabbit warren now, which I swear to God this next bit is going to change your life forever. If you get the last part of this training handled, it's going to change your life forever. So that first part is the keys to life and happiness, I believe, is to stop judging, start trying to understand, ask better questions, internal and external, and stop trying to get the world to fit in with your version of how you believe it should be based on your beliefs and values. And also understand that our basic needs are what will lead to us being happy or unhappy. So let's redefine where they are. This next one, a topic that starts wars, breaks up families, breaks up relationships, and everything in between. Understanding money. This next bit has changed my life now, and it is going to change my life forever, and I believe this will be a pivotal moment that I'm delivering live that will change me forever. So once you understand exactly what money is at a higher level of awareness, you'll stop chasing it and you'll stop needing it. Because money has, and money always will be, a reflection of the value you add to the world. I'll say that again. Money always has been and always will be a reflection of the value you add to the world. It's a vehicle of exchange. This is why when someone does a great job for us, we tip them without them asking. Because they showed us some value without asking for anything, and we gave them money. Now, people hate this, and many people watching this still won't take this on board. You'll probably be internally arguing with yourself and might completely disagree with me, and I'm totally okay with that based on just what I've said. I wouldn't judge you in any way because we're all at a different place. And your pictures don't have to fit my pictures in order for me to be okay. But the reality is, if you don't have enough money, it means you either haven't given enough or you've made bad decisions. People who don't have enough money, that will trigger the living hell out of them. They haven't given enough value. Here's where it gets interesting. Because we know this life is a contribution-based experience. If you want to get more, you need to give more. But this is so powerful. We have two bank accounts. We have a financial bank account and we have an emotional bank account. These bank accounts are exactly connected and they follow each other. This has blown my mind. They completely follow each other. So if your financial bank account is lower than you would like, lower than you believe it should be, lower than you think you deserve, then your emotional bank account will be too, based on the fact you don't feel like you have enough money, or you don't feel like you have the money that you deserve you should have. This is a false belief. Money will solve all my problems. Money will make me happy. That is a false belief. And I'm going to come on to why. Because more money equals more problems. Case closed. Almost all of the time. Again, that will trigger people who don't have enough money. Bear with me. Because if you are financially low, trust me, this is a lagging indicator. This is a wake-up call. This is a sign that your emotional bank account has dropped. You've stopped giving and you've started chasing. You're not giving value, you're chasing money. But then when you don't get it, you feel frustrated, angry and resentful. So you stop giving. It's a lagging indicator, remember that. If you're financially low, it's a lagging indicator. So if we want our financial bank account to go up, our emotional bank account has to go up first. Write that down. If I want my financial bank account to go up, my emotional bank account must go up first. Because happy, driven, focused, giving people make money with ease. Not the people who moan about not having money whilst not doing anything about it. That's a negative feedback loop that goes round and round and round and round. I haven't got X, I haven't got love, I moan about it, I'll never get love. I haven't got money, all I do is moan about not having money, I'll never get money. And it goes round and round and round and round. I've not got enough significance, I'm not getting enough credit, so I'll moan about it, round and round and round. That is a wheel that people stay stuck in forever. There's people, all they ever do, I know people in my life, all they ever do is moan about how skint they are. How is that ever going to solve the problem? Because you're not in a position to give. You're not happy. You're not driven. You're not focused. You're not contributing. All you're doing is moaning about not having money. So you will never ever have money. And it will go round and round and round and round. Because you're not vibrating at a level of positivity. You're not vibrating at a level of contribution. You're not vibrating at a level of hard work. You're not vibrating at a level of wanting to help people. Okay, this is why, and you'll have you guys who have been here a long time will have seen this with me. When I'm struggling financially, I get angry, I get reactive, I'm beggy, I'm stressed, I go into a hole for 3 days. I'm like begging people to work with me and nothing happens. And then I get more and more angry and I get more and more frustrated and I get more and more stressed because I'm chasing and I'm not attracting. You stop appreciating. When I get myself emotionally right and just turn up and just give, all of a sudden 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 clients sign up. I didn't chase them. I didn't ask them to work with me. I didn't contact them. They just came to me because I was vibrating from an emotional place of wanting to contribute, wanting to help. I'd love to help you lose weight. I'd love to help you feel better. Can I send you this free thing? But the reality is this doesn't happen instantly. And I think this is again why so many people get stuck. Because they go, right, Lee, I get what you're saying, and they start giving, and they give more value at work, and they give more time, and they work harder in their job, and they work harder on their business, and they send more emails, and they try and do a side hustle, and they try and do all these things, and they go, right, I get what you're saying, and they give. And then it doesn't come back to them within 4, 6, 8 weeks. So they think it doesn't work, and they go back to moaning about not having money. And round and round and round and round. Same with love. People give love. I give love. Oh, everyone hurts me. All men are bad. All women are bad. I gave so much love for 8 weeks, and I'm not happily married. So giving love doesn't work. So I'm going to go back to being angry about not having love. And round and round and round and round. So people want immediate results financially, immediate results with fat loss, immediate results with everything. And when they don't get them because they can't delay this instant need for gratification, this is why you stay in that negative feedback loop where most people stay for the rest of their lives. A great example that I heard Peter use was, think of like a massive ship on the sea, right? It decides it wants to go left, give more value, give more love, give more contribution. So it turns the wheel full left. You know, sometimes it can take 4, 5, 6 kilometers for those big boats to actually start turning. But most people get to the 3rd kilometer, oh, I've done everything that I needed to do, and I still haven't changed direction. So I'll give up and I'll go back to moaning. This is what people do with fat loss. I tracked my food for 3 weeks. I went to the gym every day. I did everything right. I did the mindset work. I'm not where I want to be after 3 weeks. This doesn't work. They quit the plan and go back to moaning about being fat. Case closed. And then they try again and they do a new plan and they try for 4, 5, 6 weeks and they do the work and they contribute, and then they don't get what they want based on their basic needs and what they expected and what they thought they were going to happen. Remember, all anger, frustration and resentment comes from unmet expectations. And they quit and they go back. And then they go round and round and round. Whether it's financially, fitness, fat loss, freedom, love. And that's where they live their entire life. But you need to understand, giving value isn't just about showing up at the gym for 4 weeks and tracking your food for 4 weeks. Giving value isn't just about doing 40 hours at work. Giving value isn't just about staying an extra hour. It's the value that you are adding to the world. And you have to just keep going with it, keep contributing, keep giving. Because as long as you moan, blame, complain and justify, as long as you moan about being skint, you are repelling money away from you. As long as you moan about being overweight, you are repelling fat loss away from you. As long as you are moaning about not being loved, you are repelling love away from you. Trust me. Case closed. When you are giving love, it will attract towards you. But maybe not straight away. You might have to do it for a year. When you are giving everything with your fitness and your tracking food, the fat loss will happen, but maybe not straight away. If you keep giving and contributing and giving value in your business, in your career, eventually it will come back to you, but maybe not straight away. This is why this week on my emails, I've given away 5 free videos. All of a sudden, people are coming to me asking to work with me. I didn't send loads of beggy emails saying, please love me, please come and work with me, please sign up to my plan. I just gave them some free value. I attracted them. And this is the same with money. It's the same with love. And it's the same with fat loss and fitness. Give value. Help enough people get what they want and the world will give you what you want. So this last bit, this is the mind melting bit for me. I'm running out of time. So, imagine you pay to watch a movie. Or imagine you pay to watch what most of us will be doing, to watch the Joshua fight tonight. and you don't like it, you don't agree with the decision. Oh my God, I can't wait for the people who know absolutely fuck all about boxing to all of a sudden become top level boxing critics tomorrow morning. Well, I think this. Well, I think that. Well, I think this. Well, that's a waste of money, that. You know, typical, right? Someone gets knocked out in the first round or the fight's boring. Then they get angry. I can't believe I paid 20 quid to watch that and he knocked him out in the first round. What a waste of money. What a waste of time. Or they go and watch a film. Or they might go to an art gallery. Or they might go to Gulliver's Kingdom. Or they might go to any of these places. And you give your money. And then when you get there, you don't like it. You think it's crap. You've got two options. This is the same with relationships. This is the same with careers. Same with a gym. Oh, I don't like this gym. I fucking hate training here. Get a new gym. Watch a new film. Get a new job. Get a new partner. Because option one is when something happens, be it a movie, a boxing match, a career, or anything, any form of experience that happens that you don't like and doesn't fit in with what you expected it to be and what you wanted, you have option one. Stamp your feet, victim mindset, moan, blame, complain, ask for your money back. Are you going to get your money back? No. Wasted energy. Okay? Go and watch a different movie. Go and watch a different boxing match. Go to a different art gallery. Because guess what? That movie is your life. And moaning, blaming, and complaining about not having enough of anything is the glue that keeps you stuck to an unhappy life. Write that down. Remember, we're on the 30-day no blaming and complaining challenge. Moaning, blaming, and complaining is the glue that keeps you stuck to an unhappy life. Why? Because it keeps your emotional bank account at zero. Go and create a new movie. You might not be able to write it in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or 12 weeks, but you can write it. And if you do this, anyone who completes this challenge that we've set of not moaning, blaming, or complaining, which is almost impossible, we'll all do it at some point. This will be the biggest emotional shift you've ever had in your life. So go write a new movie, go choose a new film, go watch a new boxing match, go start a new relationship, go look for a new career, because you write, direct, and star in your own movie. But blaming, complaining, and moaning about the movie that you don't like will always keep your emotional bank account at zero. And this comes down to a level of awareness. Now, this is the bit that's going to blow your mind. And if you're still doing this, this is the most devastating mistake that's holding you back in life. We're going to go right back to when we were born. How many times have you guys heard me say now, you are enough? You always have been. You're good enough. You're a winner. You're a champion. I believe in you. You're strong. You're resilient. Your sperm won a 400 million to 1 race just to be born into this world. This is your level of awareness. And our primary fear is that we are not good enough. We are not enough. We're not tall enough, we're not strong enough, we're not clever enough, we're not loved. We haven't got a good enough body, we haven't got enough money, we haven't got a nice enough house, we haven't got the car we want. Everything in the world is telling us that we are not enough. And that is our biggest fear. But I'm here to tell you this. When you were born as a baby, you were only born with 2 fears: loud noises and falling. That's it. This is why kids are fearless. Everything else is a learned fear. Everything else is an emotional response to how society has programmed you. And the most devastating mistake you will ever make, and that I have been making, is that you relate your net worth to your self-worth. That is a fucking mic drop from Peter Sage. The most devastating mistake you can ever make is relate your net worth to your self-worth. Go back to the kids in Cambodia. They don't do that. That's why they're happy and dancing all the time. That's why kids are happy and dancing all the time. Logan doesn't even know what his net worth is. That's why he's happy and dancing all the time. He just knows that he's loved and he's smiled at all the time. Why do the amount of people that say to me, oh my God, Logan, smile. Oh my God, Logan, smile. Why do you think Logan smiles in every single picture? Why do you think he smiles all the time? Because all I do is smile at him. And all I do is tell him about 100 times a day how much I love him. That I love him 10 million times 20 to the moon and back again. So he knows that he's loved. He knows that he's safe. And he has absolutely no awareness that anything as his net worth related to his self-worth. He just knows he's loved and that he's enough. And I'll continue to do that. So what we are then led to believe, and why we think our net worth is related to our self-worth, well, I'm good enough if I have the car. I'm good enough if I get the promotion. I'm good enough if I've got the job. I'm good enough if I've got money. I'm good enough if I've got a good body. Hello. Hello, last 40 years of my life. I'm only good enough if I have money. I'm only good enough if I'm shredded. I'm only good enough if I've got enough house. I'm only good enough if I'm in the first 15. I'm only good enough if I'm scoring tries. I'm only good enough if I'm running marathons. Me in a nutshell. So again, if anyone does get triggered, I'm talking about myself. This is why unscrupulous, unethical vermin will do anything to make money. They will sell their own mother to make money. They will rob. They will steal. They will lie. They will sell skinny jabs and fat loss shakes. They will sell people tablets that don't do anything, convincing them that they will. They'll sell drugs. They'll ruin lives. People will ruin lives to make money. People will start wars over money. Why? Because they believe their self-worth is related to their net worth. The association between the two is so fucking strong. And trust me, if you want to be happy with me, you need to work on breaking that association right now, because it will compromise your values, it will compromise your mood, your integrity and everything. And why does it do that to those people? Why do people get so angry about money? Because the thought of losing it or not having it triggers their innermost fear, and all of our most innermost fear, which is that we are not enough. We are not good enough. We are only good enough if we have money. So some people will do anything to avoid this fear. Steal, sell drugs. Freaking hell. People trafficking. Murder. People will do those things to get money. Anything to get money. Because if they don't have money, it triggers their innermost fear that they are not good enough. And if you want abundance, if you want fulfillment, if you want everything you've always wanted, you have to unhook this connection. Because trust me, you were born good enough. You don't need a bank account to prove this. You don't need a car to prove this. You don't need a house to prove this. And you can't take any of that with you to the grave. Like, who wants to be the richest man in the graveyard? And this is the difference that I'm now truly starting to understand between wealth and fulfillment, between money and happiness. Many people are so poor, all they have is money. Some of the most miserable people I know have lots of money because all they did was work to validate their self-worth, because without it, they felt they weren't good enough, which is their biggest fear. That is a one-way road to unfulfillment. So I'm going to finish on this. So what is the grand prize of life? What is the winning lottery ticket? What is the key to success and happiness? Is it the 5-bedroomed house? Is it the holiday in the Maldives? Is it the Mulberry handbag? Is it the Louboutins? The Range Rover? Or is it peace, happiness, love, purpose, fulfillment? And just consider this one thing. This is the bit that blew my head. What do people say when they're dying? Oh, please go and get me the keys to my Range Rover. Please go and get me my online banking. Please just bring me one last picture of my mansion. Of course they don't. They say, please bring me my loved ones. Bring me, I need the people around me who I love my most so I can tell them. So I can tell them how much I love them. The grand prize is not money. It's not cars. It's not houses. It's not chasing external validation to be good enough. It's not chasing significance. You were born good enough. Born good enough. Society has just convinced you that you need something else to happen in order to feel that way. But true happiness comes from love, joy, dancing, singing, experiences, happy thoughts, giving from a heart that is full. Not getting stressed out about the opinions of others or what you don't have or what you can't afford to buy or that you can't go on holiday. And when you can nail this and understand it, as I'm working on now, you will be free to achieve whatever you want. And you will probably attract the money and the house and the cars and the holidays and the loved ones without even trying. And everything will flow freely to you for the greater good of all because you don't need it. When you can get rid of the need for these things, when you can lower your basic needs of what you need to be happy, and when you no longer allow money, significance, or any of these things that we think we need to be happy, to have a hold over you, you will find true happiness and true fulfillment because you are enough and you always have been. I love you all. Stay unbreakable.